Well, I guess we're doing this. Yes, lads, and welcome back to the channel. And I didn't really want to do this video talking about Erik ten Hag, but I've seen it all over Sky Sports. Every single time I stream, it's what do you think about this? What's your thoughts on that? And lads, we can't ignore it no longer. So this is a video, my opinion on the Manchester United manager. If you guys going to enjoy today's discussion video, go down below and smash that like button and do subscribe if you are new. We are 25 away from 400 subs on this second channel, which is absolutely wild to think, and you're all absolute crazy. And whilst you're down there, drop a comment, your thoughts on the big man. Should he stay or should he go? Never doing that again. Ladies and gentlemen, Erik ten Hag. I get asked the question all the time, are you in or are you out? What's going on? And I hate the term Erik out or Erik in. It's like, we're not 5 years old no more. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting there like, this man is our manager and back him. It's as simple as that. But then I actually watch us play football and it's so hard. Now, listen, I need to start this off by saying it has not been all misery and storms and rain underneath Ten Hag's tenure at Man United. We've got 2 trophies under him. We've had some crazy, crazy memories under him. He has brought in some top players that whether Ten Hag stays or goes will be fan favourites for absolutely years to come. I'm talking Leacher, Matthias de Ligt, Rasmus Højlund, Anthony. But whilst that will be a positive from his tenure, all these players he's brought in, it'll also be one of the nails used to nail down his coffin, because we can't sit here and pretend like he's not been backed. You go back to Moisey, Louis, Ollie, Jose, none of them were properly backed. Now, don't get me wrong, they all spent a lot of money, but they weren't backed in terms of, I want this guy, give me this guy. You look at Ollie Solskjaer, I want Haaland, I want Declan Rice. No, but you can have near 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. And don't get me wrong, Ronnie absolutely carried us that year. But long-term success, you probably want to go for the younger lads. You look at Jose, we're like, right, second place in the league, how do we push on and challenge City for that top spot? Let's get an injured Diogo Dalot and Lee Grant. You look at Erik on the other hand. His own goalkeeper in, his own striker in, his own back line, his own midfielders. Erik ten Hag is the first manager post-Ferguson to say, this is my team. Moisey had Fergie's team. Louis had Fergie and David's team. Jose had Louis, David and Fergie's team. Ollie had all of their teams. This is Ten Hag's team. I'm trying to think of a player in our starting 11 who Erik did not sign. You've got Bruno, you've got Rashford, but he's not even starting every week anymore. Dalot, that's it. Do you know what I mean? This is Erik's team. This has got his fingerprints all over it, and there is no excuse. And the whole thing about injuries this year, we're missing Luke Shaw, and maybe Rasmus Højlund just isn't match fit. If Luke Shaw not being injured is this much of an issue for Man United's long-term success, then maybe it's not just Erik that's the problem. Maybe it's everyone. Because I'm looking at this Man United team right now, and if you go from goalkeeper to striker, well, you've got a amazing team, apart from the goalkeeper. Got World Cup winners, Champions League winners across the world. And you can't sit there and tell me these players are not good enough to go out there and just put 20 to the sword. Break through the deadlock against Crystal Palace, who, although they're a decent team, we need to be beating them ones. It's getting to the point where it's not even anger or just aggression towards the managers or the players or anything, because it's just sad. One of the big things last year that kept Erik in his job is the match-going fans. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I go to every single match, because I don't. Do you know how much money that will cost? But I like to think I go to a decent amount every season or every other season. And going into the stadium this year, like I went to the 20 game a couple of weeks back, and the stadium feels flat. I remember going with my dad to the first time and being like, oh my God, this is the most incredible thing in the world. I took my brother for his first match, and it was literally like a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night against Brentford or something like that, whereas up in the gods in the East Stand, and it's still crazy vibes, good atmosphere, like everyone's loving it. I went to the 20 game and it's like, everyone's kind of just like, right, let's just turn up because we have to. Losing the support of the match-going fans. And I think once you start hitting that point, it's very, very difficult to start coming back. Then people ask, well, who comes in to replace him? Gareth Southgate? It better bloody not be. But a lot of people saying Ruud van Nistelrooy, but this man is literally the assistant manager to Ten Hag right now. Genuinely, I would love Ruud to come in. I think he would be decent, a massive breath of fresh air. But I just don't see how much can change if Van Nistelrooy is given the instructions instead of Ten Hag. He is literally Ten Hag's number 2. He is a part of this team building. Under Ollie Solskjaer, you had McKenna and Carrick, and they were not up to standards according to a lot of the fan base. So that's why Ollie failed. But now all of a sudden, Ten Hag's number 2. He's really good, so he should be our number 1. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. But I'm looking around world football. Who comes in? Who becomes Man United manager? And you know what? I don't care. This happens every single time. If Erik goes and we get someone in, that'll be 9 either permanent or caretaker managers in the last 11 years since Ferguson retired and we were last Premier League champions. And I just don't care who comes in no more. I literally couldn't care right now if it was Jose, Pep, Ancelotti, or literally Steve who works at Tesco and lives down the road. I do not care what your history is, what type of work experience you've got, who you've managed, who you've won. I don't care. So many people are like, oh yeah, we need to sign him because he was good at that club and this club and this club. Get this player because he's this good and he scored there. This manager managed him. I don't care. How many times have we gone for these massive, massive players, these massive, massive managers because they've done well at another club? We need to find the right person for this job. People need to get it through their heads that maybe someone won't be as good as someone else. Maybe this guy isn't as good as Pep. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't even have to be close to Pep. They just need to be good for this job. He doesn't even have to be close to Pep. They just need to be good for this job. And I genuinely don't know. I don't think Ten Hag's this guy. I think he's slowly and just... it's not going well. Every single manager has that one game where the downward spiral starts to come. Under Jose Mourinho, it was the Sevilla game. Under Ollie Solskjaer, it was the 5-0 at home to Liverpool. 3-0 to Spurs was Erik's one of them. I don't think he'll be gone this international window. We got Porto away this week and Villa away. Even if we lose both of those games, I will be shocked and gobsmacked if we got rid of Erik in this international break. I'll be very surprised if he's gone before Christmas. Obviously, we haven't really seen what Ineos and Jim are going to be like in terms of ruthlessness with managers, but you don't really see us sack managers before November, December time. I think the earliest probably was Ollie in like November to early December. I can't see him going right now this week, put it that way. But after that result, the fans in the stadium, I think that was the final straw, like, we're done. That right there was the players, to me, saying, I'm not going to run for you no more. Which is not okay, by the way. Like, I don't care if you hate your boss. Like, you might not like your boss, but you go to work and you put a shift in and you do your job. Their job is just running. Do it. There's no excuse for lack of effort. You might get unlucky with some chances or not going your way, but effort is the bare minimum that I expect when you're on your £500 million wages every week. I do think Ten Hag, that game spelt the end, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Erik out, Erik out. I'm going to back this man as long as he's here, whether I like it or not, because he is Manchester United manager. And as Fergie said, our job now is to back the new manager, and that was about nearly 10 managers ago, granted. But listen, Man United fans, I do reckon, are some of the most patient fans, match-going fans anyway, in the Premier League. Like, it takes a lot for the match-going fans to turn on the managers or the players. The online social media fans are just like, if we lose a game, like, oh my God, you're this, you're that, you're that. But then if we win, oh my God, I love you. Like, they're fickle as anything. But actually going to the stadium, it takes a lot to turn the Old Trafford crowd against the manager. And I do think that Spurs game was... they just pushed him down the ramp, and he's flying down that ramp now. And I reckon the game against Porto and Villa this week is going to be interesting. I don't reckon he's gone either way. There's rumours of some senior players like backing him, thinking he will do well. And there's rumours of some other players that aren't. I'm expecting probably some of the new lads he's brought in from Ajax, maybe some of the people he's given a debut to type of stuff, youth lads. I'll probably back him as well, but... mate, it's going to be an interesting few weeks. I don't know who's going to come in, and quite frankly, I don't care. But I do reckon Ten Hag's time is slowly but surely coming to an end, and I think it's the right thing for him to go. But I don't like to see it because it just means we failed again. And I remember vividly talking like this exact video 2.5 years ago when we got rid of Ollie, and I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's gassing up Ten Hag to be the next bloody Guardiola, oh my god, whatever. And I said, well, be careful what you wish for, because I was a massive Ollie in type of guy. Be careful what you wish for, because I guarantee you we'll be here in like 3-4 years looking for a new manager, and be old, we're here again. Oh, do you know how good the FA Cup felt? The end of the season going into it, you felt like, oh my god, something might be changing here. We've been to Wembley twice, won 2 trophies. We played well against City. That season last year with the Liverpool 4-3 as well, it's like it was meant to be. Ten Hag's at Wembley lifting that FA Cup trophy. He signs a new contract. Okay, let's kick on. He got exactly what he wanted in the window, backed beyond belief. Mate, it's going to be a long couple of years. It's going to be a long couple of years. But let me know what you guys think down below. Me personally, to summarise my video, I do think it's Ten Hag's time to go. I don't want him to go because it's another failure on our list. But I do think it's the right thing, and I think it will happen. And I reckon by January the 1st, 2025, there'll be someone else standing in their dugout. And it won't be Erik Ten Hag. In a bit. Peace.